Spreading all around my room, my world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on the World of Juice channel, and welcome back to another special Madden 25 rebuild. Today, we take on the daunting task of the 2010s Bengals. This Bengals era could go down as one of the most mediocre runs of recent football history. I mean, from around 2010, just to stay at the start of the decade, at 2010 to 2019. They don't have Joe Burrow yet, obviously. They have Andy Dalton for the majority of that run, probably the entirety of that run, except for maybe 2019 they didn't have Andy Dalton because then they get the number one pick to get Joe Burrow, obviously, in 2020. But for the majority of this run, it's Andy Dalton at quarterback and AJ Green as their like number one wide receiver. They also go through the era of Vontaze Burfict and all of that controversy. And it's a lot of wild stuff going on in Cincinnati in this era. But I say the most mediocre run because they were a playoff team almost every single year, and then they would get bumped in the first round every single year. They really never made any significant runs in the postseason. It was just all around just very average. It was one of the most average runs of football I've seen in a while. And today, we're going to look to change that because we are taking on the 2012 Cincinnati Bengal rebuild. It was one of those suggestions by one of the commenters. I do remember your name this time. It was Gold Productions on YouTube. He commented and commented in one of the previous rebuilds and said he wanted to see a Bengal rebuild. And here we are, the Cincinnati Bengals of 2012, or I guess 2011, 2012, because the roster is the 2011 roster technically. So here we are, a very mediocre Bengal team. I'm excited to get into it because I don't really know what I'm going to do to the team. Like, I don't really know until we actually see what the roster looks like, what kind of changes are going to be needed to be made. So I guess let's just get into it. If you go and enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club if you have any suggestions, like Gold Productions, and you want to see a team be rebuilt in a different era, 2002, 2012, 2018, or obviously the modern day. You can suggest that in the comments, and we can take it on in the future. You maybe even get featured by name in one of the videos. So without further ado, it's time to get into it. Hit that like button. Let's go into it. All right. It's time to take a look at this Bengal roster. What are we working with? What kind of damages do we have to try to manage here? So, we have rookie AJ Green, which is a great thing to have. He's already an 89 overall. He is going to be one of the best wide receivers in all of football in the very, very near future. And we have a somewhat young Andy Dalton because he comes into the league. Is he in the 20? He's got to be in the 2010 draft. No, he's a 2011 player too. And I forgot he had a player model in the game. He hasn't been in the game for a long time. So, or actually, he probably has. He was in the game recently, I would think, because he just retired like last year or something. But Andy Dalton is also a rookie. I forgot that he was a rookie in the 2011 draft. I thought he was in the 2010 draft for a second, but he's here as a rookie. I was confused because he didn't have a dev trait, or he already had his dev trait revealed, and AJ didn't. Probably because I simulated the preseason and he got most of the snaps as a rookie, so that's probably why he had his dev trait revealed. But on the offensive line, we should have a young Andrew Whitworth, or somewhat young Andrew Whitworth. Never mind, he's 29. Did he play into his 40s? I always forget that because he was on that Rams Super Bowl team that won in 2021. So that's 10 years later, or around, give or take. He must have played into his 40s. I always forget how old he was. My God. We also have Andre Smith, who is young. So this is a nice little 1-2 punch at tackle. We could just like trade Collins and then have both of these guys play at tackle and be totally fine. We have Jermaine Gresham, who I will admit I fell into the trap when I was younger. When he was coming out of college, I thought, oh, Jermaine Gresham's going to be a stud. I liked him at Oklahoma. To be fair, I was only like 11, 12 years old when he came into the league. But I thought he was going to be a great player. He looked like a good player at Oklahoma. So I thought, and I'm pretty sure he was getting the ball thrown to him by Sam Bradford. So that probably makes him look a little bit better. Cedric Benson, a great running back, but past his prime at this point. So we'll see what we have to do at running back. The rest of the wide receiver room is not amazing. There's a couple of names you might remember, but for the most part, there's nobody here. Rest of the offensive line might need a little bit of work. And then we get to the defense where there's a lot to do on the defense. We do have Ray Maualuga. How old is Ray at this point? Ray is only 24. Perfect. So we got a somewhat prime, entering his prime, Ray Maualuga. Maybe at the very beginning of his prime. We've also got a super young Geno Atkins. Domata Pecco. Pac-Man Jones is over here. Reggie Nelson I like. So there's some pieces to work with here, but there's still a lot to do. We got Frosty Rucker. There's a lot to do on this Bengal defense. Not so much on the offense, but a lot to do on the defense. And as always, I've already loaded in the draft class, but we are using the 2012 draft. Last time when I did a 2012 rebuild, it was the St. Louis Rams at that point, not the LA Rams. It was the St. Louis Rams, and we took Andrew Luck #1 overall and really turned around the program, I've been playing too much college football, turned around the team, the dynasty, at that point. Now, we don't necessarily need a quarterback. I think I might stick with Andy Dalton because he's a rookie. We'll see how he develops. Other than that, we might go like Justin Blackmon for the memes to see if we can turn his career around. Luke Kuechly, I took in that Rams rebuild as well. He's obviously a great player, but I think I might avoid him because we just had him in that rebuild. But it's the 2012 video or 2012 roster draft class. You guys know the drill. And what I did in that Rams video was I traded away some of our veteran guys and got a lot of draft picks. I could trade. Anthony Collins is only 25 too. In theory, the smart thing to do is trade Andrew Whitworth because we've got Andre Smith, who's 24, and Collins, who's 25. They're both on 2-year deals, so we'd have to pay them. Whitworth is on a 4-year deal, so we don't have to pay him as soon. But the smart thing to do would be to trade Andrew Whitworth, and then I'd probably be able to get a first-round pick for him. I mean, he's 29. He's a superstar left tackle. We could get one from the Chiefs and from the Colts. Colts might be bad because this year obviously they get the #1 pick and get Andrew Luck. But I don't think I want to trade Andrew Whitworth. I don't think I do. I got to trade one of these tackles. We can't have 3 tackles that are above an 85. Somebody's got to go. Somebody's got to go, and it might be Anthony Collins. It might be Anthony Collins, but he's not going to be able to get us a first-round pick unless I do it myself, but then I'd have to give up more, and it looks like it's going to be a little bit tricky. We could go Darren McFadden. That might be cool. Maybe have Darren McFadden be the running back of this dynasty or of this rebuild. That could be pretty fun. I don't think I've ever gone that direction. We've always either signed somebody in free agency or drafted a running back in the future. I do remember, was it the Colts rebuild? Or was it the Rams rebuild? One of the rebuilds recently, I didn't have a running back most of the video, but we still won the Super Bowl. I think I kind of want to do this trade with Darren McFadden, although I might want to try to get more out of it. Can I get a first-round pick plus Darren McFadden? You know what? I probably can. So they need a tight end. All we have is Jermaine Gresham, I think, right? Yeah, all we have is Jermaine Gresham. They need a CB, a corner. What else do we have? We don't have anything at corner, really. We have 6 years of Pac-Man Jones. Why? That's a tradable contract, though. Nate Clements is 31 years old. Does he help the needle move? He does help the needle move. They need a middle linebacker. We have Dan Skuta. You want Dan Skuta? I'm not going to give you Maualuga. Then they need a quarterback. We obviously only have Andy Dalton. How do I get this done? Obviously, it's draft picks is how I get this done. I could give them Dennis Rowland. He's an 80 overall. That puts us into the lime green, and now probably draft picks is where we come into play here. So we toss a 4th rounder from this season, and that's declined. How about a 4th rounder from 2027, which is technically 2014? That's declined. What about a 2024 or 2013 4th round pick? Very close. So it's going to have to be a combination of 4s and 3s, unfortunately. Let's just make that 20. No, 2014 is going to be too good of a draft to not have a third round pick. So let's make it next year's third round pick because 2013 kind of sucks. Trade declined, and it might have to toss in that 4th, unfortunately. Okay, trade accepted. So we were able to get a first round pick out of him and Darren McFadden. But now I can trade Cedric Benson because I want Darren McFadden to start, obviously. So I don't know. I don't think Cedric's going to be able to get us a first, but he might be able to replenish the 3rd and 4th that we got rid of. But that's going to be fun to have Darren McFadden. All right, let's trade Cedric Benson. Maybe he won't be able to replenish anything. He's getting 6th round offers. Interesting. I thought he would have a little bit more value than that. Emmanuel Sanders is cool. Pierre Garcon's only 26. Is there like a young player that I could go for instead of a draft pick? Let's see. What kind of position? We need a corner for sure. Let's see if there's any young corners that aren't highly valued. Aaron Williams, Champ Bailey, Joe Hayden. He's too highly rated. There's got to be somebody. There's got to be somebody that we might be able to bring in. We could do Terrence Newman. Bring him back. Vontae Davis retired at halftime. Although he's young here. We'll come back to him. I don't think he's going to be possible without giving up draft picks, but we'll come back to him. Prince Amukamara. Darrelle Revis is too good. I'd love to get Darrelle Revis, but I think the only way I would be able to do that is if I did a Jets rebuild. Chris Gamble. Love Chris Gamble. Man, there's this the cornerback whatchamacallit depth in this decade was not very good, was it? It's not like it is today. A rookie Sherm. I forgot he was a rookie this year. Oh, I got to go for Sherm. Okay, they value him very well, or very highly. They need a right guard. Do I have a depth right guard I can give them? No, because I have Bobby. Oh, Bobby. They need a wide receiver. I don't have another wide receiver I can give you unless you want Jerome Simpson. Do you want Jerome Simpson? They kind of do want Jerome Simpson. Okay, now we're talking. I can give you Scuda. Do you want Dan Scuda? Kind of. They kind of want Dan Scuda. And then draft picks is really all else I can do. How about a 5th rounder this year? Trade accepted. Boom! Rookie Sherm. Welcome to the squad. Okay, that's probably going to be the only trading that I do for this. Oops, that's not what I wanted to go to. For this first season. I just kind of wanted to get rid of one of those tackles. And I think I might just make Andrew, or why do I keep doing Andrew? Probably because I'm looking at Andrew Whitworth when I say it. Andre Smith, just make him a right tackle. He shouldn't go down. Oh, he is a right tackle. Perfect. I was going to make him a right tackle, but he ends up being a right tackle. So we have Darren McFadden. We only have AJ Green now at wide receiver. Hopefully that doesn't hurt Andy Dalton's progression. We now have Sherman, who has an upgrade point. That's pretty fun. I've never had Richard Sherman in any of these. Oh, his hat or his little do-rag thing that he wears is kind of messed up. We'll ignore that. But we've got some rookies. We got some young talent. We're going to simulate season 1. Hopefully we are bad and the Raiders are bad. So we have 2 top picks and we can decide what we want to do in the 2012 draft. I'm going to simulate season 1 and I'll see you guys at the end of it. Okay, year number 1 is in the books, and we were pretty bad. Although we won a few more games than I would have liked, but that's just because we have Andy Dalton, who's fairly highly rated as a rookie, AJ Green, we have a solid enough offensive line. We have enough pieces to win 6 games like we did. How did the Raiders do, though? Ooh, Raiders won 5 games, so we're going to have 2 decently high picks. They weren't the worst team in the AFC, though, because the Jags won 4 games, but we're going to have 2 decently highly valued picks, which is nice. We can simulate to the Super Bowl just for the fun of it, just for the lulz. Even though we're not going to be in the big game. We'll take a peek at who is in the big game, though. It's going to be the Giants and the Patriots. No, don't do this to me again. Don't do this to me again. Let the Patriots win, please. Okay, let's take a look at the stats. We've got ourselves Andy Dalton, who had a very good rookie year. 3,600 yards, 26 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. We are in Bengal like traditional Bengal playbook, so like Joe Burrow offense. So those are okay numbers. He's going to put up better numbers once he gets higher rated. At running back, Darren McFadden had 719 yards, 2 touchdowns, average 3.4. Again, he's going to put up more numbers once he gets highly rated because 3.4 is kind of bad. Receiving, AJ Green, 1,000 yards in the Jamar Chase role, 6 touchdowns. Shipley, he had 959 and 9 touchdowns in the T. Higgins role. Okay, I respect it. Maybe he gets star development. Who knows? And then defensively, Ray Malaluga, 124 tackles. Keith Rivers had 95. That's another guy I didn't even mention, but is young and could develop into a great player. Keith Rivers. He didn't really have a great real-life NFL career, but in this game, he could develop. Who knows? Sherman had 91 tackles. I'm glad we were able to trade for Sherman. That makes me happy. 26 tackles for loss. Oh, my God. I just processed in my mind. 26 tackles for loss for Geno Atkins is crazy. 18 for Manny Lawson. Pecco had 15. 10 for both Howard and Rivers. Sack leader was Pecco with 9. Atkins with 6. Atkins had a crazy good season. 5 for Howard, 4.5 for Lawson, and Michael Johnson, another young player. We've got some young people that could turn into something that never really turned anything in real life. They could definitely turn into something in this game or in this video. 3 interceptions for both Nelson and Sherm. 2 for Leon Hall, 1 for a couple other guys. Decent season. For only winning 6 games, that's a decent stat line for all of our big-time players. Please, football gods, do not do this to me again. I watched it live happen. Do not let me have to relive it. Okay, it looks like the Patriots won because in this, the score is flipped for some reason because Madden is a bad football game or a bad video game in general. So it looks like the Patriots won 17-14. Thank God. I did not want to have to go through that again. I watched both of those losses live. Trust me, I don't want to watch it again. Season recap. Patriots win. Patrick Chung is the MVP. He likes the cocaine. Tony Romo wins the MVP of the league. Marquise Colson and Jay Ratliff win Players of the Year. And I think Cam Newton and Von Miller won it, the Rookies of the Year, in the last 2012 rebuild we did. They're just the greatest. I think they probably both won it in real life too. I would assume so. I know Cam won Offensive Rookie of the Year. Or just regular Rookie of the Year. I don't know if he won Offensive. I know he won Rookie of the Year. Okay, so we get to the offseason. We have $138 million to work with here. What do we have to sign? Ooh, Keith Rivers. I did say I wanted to see how he develops. He's only 26. Who else is here? Nobody. There's really nobody else here. I mean, Leon Hall at 27, maybe. We have the cap for it. But I definitely want to lock up Keith Rivers until he is 30. We'll pay him a little bit over value because he could turn into something. And he doesn't want to be here. So we'll pay him that. He's not coming back. Okay, franchise tag it is. $17.6 million. Man, I really thought we'd get him back. Just on a contract. And I'll sign Leon Hall just because we don't have any other options at corner right now other than Sherman. So we'll try to re-sign Leon Hall. I say we'll sign him. I don't know if we will actually. He's coming back. Okay. Other than that, I don't really want anybody else. We can let everybody go. And we can save all that money for possible free agents / just saving it every year for negotiations. All right, what do we got? The free agent class is here. Who is it? Jared Gaither, who I think we signed in that Rams video. A lot of tackles and kickers, which unfortunately we don't need tackle. We have 2 good ones. So we're good there. There's not really a whole lot else. Except for maybe Cliff Averill. Ooh. I like me some Cliff. Are we just going to build the Legion of Boom? We might. I'm not opposed to it. I mean, they won a Super Bowl off the Legion of Boom. That's what I'm trying to do here. Cliff Averill, welcome to the team, hopefully. Jamarcus Russell backing up. That'd be hilarious. Let's see. No running backs. We have McFadden already. Wide receiver. We could use an extra running back or an extra wide receiver because we have AJ Green. End of sentence. That's it. That's all we have. So getting a veteran wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I was almost going to trade for Pierre Garçon. Maybe we just sign him straight up. I know we have to battle a couple extra teams, but a 79 overall 27-year-old wide receiver to hold down the fort until we drafted the other guys would not be a bad idea when we have the cap room to do it. Tight end. Ooh, Delaney Walker is too low overall at 28. Why do they do Delaney Walker dirty like that? Delaney Walker I know he had a very late prime, but he was good. Delaney Walker was a good player before he retired. Tackle, we don't need. Guard, we're going to draft. Center, we're going to draft. Guard, we're going to draft. Tackle, we don't need. going after Cliff Averill right now, but the Titans have jumped ahead of us. We'll see who he chooses there. D tackle, there's Pat Sims again. We could have just re-signed him if I wanted him. I don't think I want him. Right end. Everybody's too old. I don't want outside linebacker. Wesley Woodyard probably would be a cool pickup, but I mean, we could probably just find somebody in the draft in the next couple of years. I mean, he's 26. He's not really going to turn into anything too crazy. Middle linebacker, we're good. Geno Hayes, 25, star dev. I could consider a Geno Hayes. We have to go after a couple people. We could turn him to a left outside linebacker or turn Keith Rivers into a left outside linebacker, either one. But I would consider a Geno Hayes. I don't know if he's going to choose us, though. Corner, Leotis McKelvin. How old is he? He's 26. He wants to be here. We could use an extra corner. I'll go after Leotis McKelvin. Don't have to pay him too much. Okay, so we'll go after those guys. That's probably going to be everybody that I go after. We'll draft everybody else. All right, targeted. We're going after McKelvin, Averill, Pierre Garçon, and Geno Hayes. Are we going to get all four? I guess we'll find out. We got 3 out of the 4. The other one didn't sign yet, McKelvin. We got Cliff Averill, Pierre Garçon, and Geno Hayes. That's awesome. What about McKelvin? He chose to sign somewhere, and it's with us. All 4 people that we went after chose to sign with us. That is awesome. So we'll go and add them to the lineup. Most of them are just kind of like roster filler guys until we actually draft the guys that we want. But maybe Pierre Garçon can have a good season. Who knows? We need to get offensive line, that's for sure. Geno is now an X factor. We can trade Lawson. I'm going to make Geno Hayes a left outside linebacker. We can trade Manny Lawson now for something. He's like 29, almost 30. He's not going to be anything for us. So we can turn him into a left outside linebacker. Him and Keith Rivers can start. They're both on the same timeline, really. And then we got Mary Malaluga in the middle. We just need, actually, you know what? I mean, we're looking pretty solid. We need some safeties, at least a strong safety, because Taylor Mays is not the guy that I want starting at the safety position. Let's go to the trade center and bleep, Manny Lawson for something. What's Manny Lawson going to be able to get us? Manny Lawson can get us Peanut Tillman, Eric Decker. Let's see. He can get us Brandon Graham. It's kind of cool. We do need a guard, so Justin Blaylock might not be a bad idea. Brandon Jacobs, Calvin Pace, Leonard Davis. Ooh, Rolando McClain, another guy that had oodles of potential. And yes, I said oodles. But never turned in anything. And we can also get Mario Williams. I'd rather have Mario Williams in a draft that we drafted like 2002 so that we could draft him and he would be better out the gates. But 27 years old at Star Dev is not the worst thing in the world. But Rolando McClain is really tickling the pickle. I might go after him. I know we don't need another middle linebacker, but that might make us able. I'm going to do this trade. That might make us be able to do a 3-4 and kind of have a little bit of a better chance, I guess. What's the schemes? So we're rocking West Coast spread. That's not very compatible. We have an 83%, right? Yeah, vertical power run. And then this one, the most compatible one, is a 72%. 4-3, disguise 3-4. I might go disguise 3-4 for right now. I know we have Domata Peko, but I mean, Rolando McClain is pretty good. Well, he was going to be pretty good. Never really panned out to be anything too crazy in real life. But what do we got here? So on defense, we've got ourselves the disguise 3-4. Where is Keith Rivers moved over here for some reason now? So I guess I'll just move one of them back to right outside linebacker. Or I'll just go in the depth chart. I don't know why it switched it. Let's just go in the depth chart and turn. Where's the depth chart at? And put Keith Rivers at the starting position. So let's go to left outside linebacker and make Hayes the starter, because he should be. And then right outside becomes Keith Rivers. There we go. That's how you do that. That is how you do that. Perfect. That's what I want it to look like. So we kind of lose the value of Dom Peko a little bit with this formation, but it allows for the guys that we have put some faith into, like a new contract for, well, a potential new contract for Keith Rivers, and signing a new contract for Geno Hayes, and a trade for Rolando McQuain. It puts them a little bit more chances for development. So I think that's all I'm going to do in this little free agent period. We're going to simulate to the draft. And then, excuse me, take a look at mock draft number 5 to figure out exactly where we're picking. Do we need to move up? Do we need to move down? What are we going to be doing? Who's going to be available for us? Who do they have mocked to us? What's going to be happening? A lot of questions to be answered. Thomas Howard actually has some trade offers. Oh, I could get said Benson back. But they're not giving me anything too crazy for Thomas Howard, which is not a surprise, to be honest. You know what? Give me Cedric Benson back. You can have Thomas Howard. Give me Cedric Benson back, and then I'll have I'll have both of them. Okay, so private workouts. I did use my private workouts on Justin Blackman, on Stephon Gilmore, excuse me, and I used it on a guard, I think. I think it was David DeCastro, actually. So those are the guys that I used in the early part of the season. I just wanted to know how good Justin Blackman was. I think I might use one on TY, and then probably just interior offensive lineman, because that's a big need for us this first season. So maybe a Kevin Zeitler type, and then maybe a Kelechi Osemele will be the last two. And we'll see hopefully how good those guys are. Maybe we'll be in position to get them. I don't know. Trade accepted. Thank you. All right. NFL draft. Give me a look at the mock. Give me a look at the mock. What do we got? So we have Andrew Luck going number 2 overall. That's crazy. Blackman going top 4. I kind of wanted him, but not for the trade up value. Ooh, Chandler Jones. I wouldn't be opposed to taking Chandler Jones, although I might take Stephon Gilmore. Have him and Sherman. That might be an elite pairing. And then they have us taking Bruce Irvin at 12. I mean, we don't have to, but there is a world where we can take Luke Kuechly again. I said I didn't want to because we took him in the Rams one, but I mean, I can't help the fact that he's fallen down the draft board. Maybe we shouldn't take him. I think what we should do is trade 12, trade down, and take David DeCastro. That's probably the move that we make. So we trade up out of 6 to 5 to take Stephon Gilmore. Although Chandler Jones is going to be really good too. But we have Cliff Averill, who we just signed, and we have Michael Johnson. So it's not like the biggest need to get an edge rusher, especially not in this class. I think getting another corner would be the smart thing to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to purchase as many of these as we can. Maybe all of them. Who knows? Purchase all of this. That'll make it easier for us to trade. We should be able to get all of it. Yeah, just barely. Okay. So we can get all of that stuff. Now we can more easily trade our first round picks around. And I think I'll save the trading number 12. I'll trade that in the actual draft. So let's trade number 6. And this will get traded for number 5. I think the Cardinals had it. Yeah, and the Cardinals had number 5. So we'll just swap from 6 to 5. And we'll take Gilmore. They'll take probably Chandler Jones, who ended up playing for them anyway. Let's start the draft. Start drafting. Who's going to go number 1? Is it going to be Mark Barron, or is it actually going to be Andrew Luck? It is Mark Barron. Sorry, Tampa Bay. Your franchise quarterback has to wait because you got Mark Barron. And Andrew Luck goes to the Rams, just like he did in the Rams rebuild. That's kind of funny. Although I think we took him at 1, not 2. Quentin Coples goes 3. Good luck with that. Commanders are at 4. They take Justin Blackman. Also, good luck with that. And we are up at 5 to take Stephon Gilmore. He's a top 5 true talent. He paired up with Richard Sherman is a freak combination. So welcome, Stephon Gilmore. Number 5 in the class. We got him at 5. Yeah, he's a freak. He's a great player. Super Bowl champion, Patriots. You know the drill. All right, let's skip to our next pick. Hey, look at that. Tannehill got taken by the Dolphins. Chandler Jones gets taken at 7 to the Chiefs. The Browns got their franchise quarterback in RG3. So good luck, good for them. But now is the time where we make the decision. We can either take Luke Kuechly right now or trade down a little bit and take David DeCastro. He was projected at, was it 27 he was projected at? I don't want to trade down that far. But if I can get a decent haul for 12 and still able to get David DeCastro, that would probably be the ideal situation. So I don't think there's going to be a chance where I can get 2 first-round picks unless I trade to 29. It's probably going to be a little bit hard to get 2 first-rounders out of it. Unless I completely trade out of the round. I don't want to do that, though. I could trade to the pick right ahead and pick up an extra second as well. I could do this and then trade up 1 spot with the Titans. That might be a good idea. I also would replenish my 3rd round pick that I traded away. I think I might do this. We're going to trade down to 28 with Philadelphia. We pick up their 1st round pick next year. But then we go into here and we trade up a couple of spots ahead of the Titans now that we have pick 28. So who has pick 26? 26 is held by the 49ers. So if we swap ahead of the Titans, ooh, just barely. I'll toss in a 7 or something. Oh, okay, never mind. I guess I'll go 1 for 1 then. Whatever. You want to make me do it the hard way. Want to make me do it the hard way. Where are the Titans at? All right, trade up 28 for 27. They accept it. So now we swap with them. That's the pick that David DeCastro was projected to be. I guess we'll go a little bit and see if he actually does get taken or not. I'd be kind of heartbroken if he did. Trent Richardson goes to Green Bay. Don't eat the cheese curds, Trent. Drake or Patrick. I was also curious about Dontari Poe. Kuechly goes to the Bears. That's a good fit. He can learn underneath Brian Urlacher. Wilson ends up going to Seattle. Now, obviously, he was like a 4th round pick in real life, but he ends up going to Seattle. That's cool. Dante Hightower in Baltimore. That makes me want to throw up. Fletcher Cox. Michael Brockers. Janoris Jenkins. Andre Branch. Corey Glenn. Mitchell Schwartz. Mitch. And Jonathan Martin. Bing! We did it. And we were able to come away with a extra 1st round pick. So we did the job. And we get a right guard that's going to be here for the entire series, or the entire video. So, David DeCastro, number 15 in true value. We got him at 28. Or 27, whatever we got him at. And we did the job. Okay, perfect. Let's skip to the 2nd round. We have pick number 44. Ooh, the muscle hamster got taken. What do we have now? Ooh, Kevin Zeiler. We could just get our guards figured out. I might do that. Although Kelechi Osemele's here. But I don't think I can wait. Who can I get? There's also TY. Does TY make it to the 3rd round? Probably not, right? I doubt it. I think I might get Kevin Zeitler here. I know it's a little bit of a risk. He's a great player, though. How good's Kelechi? What do we compare them to? Because we can just move 1 to left guard. Because we have DeCastro as well. He's not as good of an athlete. But he's got better overall stuff. I think I might take Kelechi. We'll take him. And then I hope that TY falls. He's number 11 in true value. Look at that. So now we got our guards figured out. Hopefully for the entirety of the video. Does TY make it? I don't see him here, but he might have got taken in the 2nd round. Doesn't mean just because he's not here doesn't mean he's not there. TY is taken. That's upsetting. I figured that was going to be the case, but you got to gamble. Got to get the positions we need more than receiver. We could take Marvin Jones. I mean, they did take him in real life. We're pretty much done at offensive line for this draft. I mean, we do need a center at some point, but not in this draft. There's nobody that I want, so we're done on offensive line. We're probably done on defensive line unless we take a backup D tackle, but we don't really need one. Oh, Nigel Bradham is here. I did see Danny Trevathan in there. Mm, maybe we go corner again. Is this hey, look at that, Nate Ebner. Is this Brandon Browner? Is he in this class? No, he might be in 2014, or maybe he's already been taken. I can't remember. Or maybe he's already been in a draft. I don't remember, honestly. What about safety? I did say we needed a safety, but it might be too late for a safety. George Iloka, who they took in real life, did not turn out to be a good player. Let's see. What is available? Nick Foles. Ugh, gross. Running back. We don't need another running back. I might just take Marvin Jones. I know it's a little bit early. He's a day 3 guy. We're taking him in the 3rd round, but don't really have another option. So, Marvin, welcome to the squad. Just like in real life, baby. A little bit early. A little bit of a reach. I wish Demario Davis wouldn't got taken right before us. We go to the 5th round, and this is where the real bad players are at. Maybe we can find a diamond in the rough, though. What do we got here? Wide receivers. Hey, look, DeVere. He smells good. What about anywhere else? Anywhere else? Anywhere else? Anywhere else? Da, 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 anywhere else? Anywhere else? I mean, Dan Trevathan's here. We might as well take him. I don't really have any other options. So Brandon Marshall, not the other Brandon Marshall. I'm just gonna take Danny Trevathan and then sim out to the draft. Boom! Solid draft. I'm pretty happy with what we have here. We got our offensive line, our interior offensive line, absolutely sorted. We just need a center, and we'll get that in probably 2013. Although I don't think there's going to be many centers in 2013 that we can take. But I'm happy with our draft class. We got Stephon Gilmore, 78 overall, DeCastro at 74, Colecchio Semele at 74. I'm going to turn him into a left guard just right away so that he just goes straight into the lineup as a true left guard. And then we are pretty much sorted. So, boom. Does he go up or down in overall? He stays the same. Okay. Marvin Jones, Danny Trevathan. They took a bunch of scrubs. That's okay. Best player in the class was Andrew Luck, then Kuechly, then Bobby Wagner, who got taken by the Browns, then Gilmore, yada, 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 and more yada. Okay. 2012 draft in the books. I think we got better. We added a couple extra weapons for Andy Dalton. We also fixed his offensive line to a big extent. So we'll see how that works out. We also have the Eagles' 1st round pick. They're probably going to be good, but at least we have their pick. And O'Donnell, it says he can be a 73 overall center, so we might as well put him there for the time being. But we're looking pretty good at offensive line now. Running back's fine for now. Wide receiver is going to be okay. Hopefully Andy Dalton gets some more dev. We've got Gilmore, Leotis McKelvin. We still need that strong safety, but there just wasn't one available for me. So maybe Taylor Mays turns into something. I don't know. But I'm very curious to see how this linebacking core develops. Very, very curious. I will simulate to week number 1 so we can get the 2013 draft class loaded in, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so we're here at week number 1. Let's load in the 2013 draft class and get acquainted with it. You guys should already be pretty familiar with it by now if you've seen any of my rebuild videos in the past. And you guys should already know it from just knowing history. Eric Fisher, Luke Joeckel, 1 and 2, although Joeckel goes 1, Fisher goes 2, Jags and Chiefs. Jordan goes 3 to the Dolphins. It's not a great top of the draft. There's not a real good player in this draft that turns out to have a really good NFL career until you get to like Sheldon Richardson. Starlo Tulela, I can't disrespect him. He had a fine career. But like Tavon was really good in college and high school, not that great in the NFL. Jonathan Cooper was a fine player. These guys were all, I mean, Joeckel stayed around for a while. Fisher was fine. I can't hate on him too much. Deion Jordan was a big bust. But, I mean, it's the 2013 draft. You guys know it. You guys love it or hate it. We could take DeAndre Hopkins in that, and that might be pretty fun. But we will move to season number 2, postseason action. Are we going to be a part of it? I mean, we're a better team than we were last year. I don't know. We'll have to keep an eye on the Philadelphia Eagles draft pick, though, because we have them. So hopefully they do bad. They probably won't, but maybe they will. I don't know. We'll find out. Let's get to the end of the season and see what happens. Year 2 is in the books. We improved. We won 9 games this year. Just missed out on the playoffs, though, at 9 and 8. It seems like we could have snuck in as the 7 seed if we would have won 10 games. Colts won 1 game. So obviously not getting Andrew Luck certainly hurt them a lot. Okay, so we are improving. That's a good sign. By how much, though? Andy Dalton, 3,800 yards, so a few more yards. Same amount of touchdowns and same amount of interceptions, or similar amount. I wonder. I wonder if Andy Dalton in this playbook is going to be good enough. I guess we'll find out. Rushing, similar amount of yards and touchdowns and average per game for Darren McFadden. The Bengal offense might not be good enough right now. We'll give it obviously a couple more seasons. And we got AJ Green getting almost 1,000 yards. Jordan Shipley almost got 1,000 yards. Pierre Garcon had a good season. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Defensively, Ray Maluga leads the team. Rolando McClain, okay, nice. Wow, Taylor Mays, 5 picks? Really? Maybe Taylor Mays is the guy we built around. He must have heard me trash talking. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Sorry about that. You probably heard that. Maybe he is the guy that we built around at the safety position. Tackle for loss leader is Gino with 17. Averill had 13 and 8.5 sacks. Let's go, Cliff. I knew I paid you for something. He led the team. 7 for Gino, 4.5 for Keith Rivers, 4 for Rolando McClain. Nice to see. 5 picks for both Taylor Mays and Richard Sherman. I think we might have our answer at the safety position. Let's go to the Super Bowl and see if we have any dev trade upgrades. Give me some devy boys. I want some devs. Give me all the devs. Who's the Super Bowl? It's going to be the Eagles. Oh my God. So we're going to have pick 31 or 32. Thanks for that, Philadelphia. I appreciate that. All right, let me quickly buy those 3 hometown discount signing things just so that we have a little bit of a easier time re-signing our players. Just slightly. It's not going to matter that much, but it's only 5%. But just so we have it, anything matters. Okay, let's take a look since we're at Super Bowl week. Let's take a look at the devs. Do we have any potential dev upgrades? We have nothing of note on offense. Everybody's just either revealed or stays the same. Okay. All right, I can get down with that. And then defense, Cliff Avrill's now a star. Huge. Taylor Mays from normal to superstar. That's the title of his book. Okay, Taylor Mays is the guy. He's going to be our strong safety for the video. He's only 24. I didn't think that was going to be the case, but he had a crazy season. And going from normal to superstar means only one thing in my book. Did he win Defensive Player of the Year with those 5 interceptions? He might have. He very well might have. Rolando McClain developed really well. Cliff Averill was a big piece, but I don't know if Michael Johnson's going to be is going to be as good. Gilmore is a great player. We're going to move him to number 2 corner. He's going to be that anyway. Okay, we're coming together. This team is starting to come together. We still need a few different people added to this team, but we are coming together very, very soon. We probably should be able to make the playoffs next year in year 3. Eagles win the Super Bowl. We have pick 32 from Philadelphia. Thank you, Philadelphia. I appreciate that. I knew I could count on you. Buster Screen. He gets an upgrade point. Couple upgrade points. Season recap. Philly gets the championship. Jason Babin is the MVP. Rodgers gets MVP of the league. We've got Calvin Johnson and Darryl Smith winning Players of the Year. Russell Wilson and Zach Brown win Rookies of the Year. So Taylor Mays must have just won Safety of the Year or something. Because going from normal to superstar is not just like a normal thing. He must have won something crazy. Let's get to the good stuff. We've got $100+ million in room, in cap room. So let's see who needs a new contract. We need to pay Andre Smith, Ray Maluga. Okay, it's a good thing we have the money then, because a lot of our starters need new contracts. So let's start with Andre Smith. We're going to lock him up for the remainder of this rebuild, hopefully. Shouldn't go more than 6 seasons, I wouldn't think, unless something tragic happens. He's going to come back. Thank you very much, Andre. We'll get Ray Maluga locked up for a similar amount of time, but not exactly. We'll pay him that amount of money, and he's going to come back. Thank you, Ray. Darren McFadden, going to come back. We're going to get him on a 7-year contract because I pay running backs worth what they're worth. And he is going to come back and play for 7 more seasons. Keith Rivers, we're going to re-sign, but I don't want to get him on a too crazy contract because we could trade him, actually. So we'll pay him on that. He's going to come back. So we franchise tagged him last year. He comes back this year. Now, the Michael Johnson one is very interesting. He's only 26. He didn't really have that good of a year this year. I might just bring him back to potentially send him away in some sort of trade in the future, or just let him rot on the bench when we draft somebody inevitably that's better. Can I get anything for Frosty? Probably not. What about a snowman? Does anybody want a snowman? What can I get for Frosty? Nothing. Well, Michael James. I appreciate that. He was good in college. I don't want him. So Frosty's going to leave in free agency for nothing, and we are going to move on to that free agency period. Is there going to be anybody there? We kind of went a little crazy in free agency this past year. I don't think we're going to be doing that again. What do we got? We got Seabass. If a kicker is the best player in the class, you're in for a bad class. I mean, Connor Barwin's here at 24 or 26. Intriguing. He'd probably be the only guy that I would go after because we don't really need anything else. We're very good at starters. We just need either a starting center, which we're probably going to get this year, hopefully, because Travis Frederick is in this class. We need a starting center, maybe an upgraded tight end because Tyler Eifert's also in this class. My dream situation for this draft is to get Tyler Eifert and Travis Frederick in the first round. I don't know if that's going to be possible. We're going to try that. We need some backup wide receivers because we already have two decent ones. And then we need just backups everywhere else, basically. Some depth players. And I don't know if Connor Barwin is a starter that we could play. He's an 84. He'd probably start over Keith Rivers. But I'd rather just save the money. I don't want to overpay him. So I'd rather just save the money and let's go to the draft. We got to go to mock draft number 5. We got to go to the private workouts. We got to do a lot of stuff. Got to do a lot of stuff. A lot of business to be taken care of. A lot of mouths to feed. A lot of pencils to push. All right, let's go to the private workouts. So I did scout D-end as my national scout. But I used it on the week 13. I used it on DeAndre Hopkins, on Travis Frederick, and then on somebody else. Who did I use it on? I forget at this point. It's not showing me, so I don't remember. Who cares? Where do we go now, though? Is there a backup plan unless we don't get Travis Frederick? Not really. He's the only center in this class. What about at tight end? We have Jermaine Gresham, so it's not like the end of the world if we don't get Tyler Eifert. Travis Kelce. I always forget he's in this class. We know DeAndre's top 5. Bobby Trees, Keenan Allen. There's a couple wide receivers down the board that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I might do a little Keenan Allen action. And then we go to depth corners. Big play Slay. Absolutely. I see Tyrann Mathieu down here as well. The Honey Badger. So we'll go with those. Excuse me. Hiccups. We'll go with those guys. And then we'll take a look at the mock draft. Last thing we got to do. Let's take a little peek skis at the mock draft. See what we got. So mock draft number 5 has Deion Jordan going number 1. Good luck with that, Colts. I don't think a D-end is what you need. I think you need a quarterback. Tavon Austin. I mean, they did just get Robert Griffin III, so they need somebody for him to throw to. DeAndre's going 6. Okay. Our first pick, there's Slay at 11. So if we want him, we got to trade up. Our first pick is at 18. They want us to take Manti Te'o. There's Chris Jones, the Chiefs Chris Jones, if you're not familiar. He's right there above us. We could take him. That could be pretty fun. We already have Dominic Pecco. And then we have pick 32 to take Kenny Vaccaro. That's not going to happen. I don't really know what the move is for this. I talked about getting Travis Frederick and Tyler Eifert. Maybe we pivot to something else. I don't think we need to trade up for anybody. I don't think we need to trade up for anybody unless we're gonna trade up for Slay. He's a top 5 guy. I don't know if I've ever gotten him. 18 to 11 is not that far to trade up. I might trade up for Darius Slay. I know I don't necessarily need to, but I never really get Darius Slay, so I might do it. Although we have Sherman and we have Stephon Gilmore. Maybe we don't. No, that's stupid. That's stupid. We don't need to do that. Let's just stay where we are at 18 and 32 and see where the board falls. See what happens. Let's start drafting. Who's going to go number one? Are the Colts really going to take DeAndre or Deion Jordan, not DeAndre? They might be better off with DeAndre Jordan, though. They do take Deion Jordan. Good luck with that, Indianapolis. You need a quarterback. I know this isn't the quarterback draft, but you need one, and you're not getting one. Eric Fisher goes 2. Jokel goes 3. Browns, are you going to take Tavon? They will. So it seems like the board is falling exactly how you would expect. It goes Ziggy, then Hopkins, Cooper, Trufant, oh, yada, 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 yada. Basically exactly how it went. Okay, so now we pick at 18. We pick at 18. This is where we take Travis Frederick, I think. I know he's a round 1 to 2 guy, but I want to lock up the center position. So that is figured out. Center is done for the video. The entire offensive line is done for the video, unless somebody drastically has an expensive contract that we just can't pay, which I don't see happening, but you never know. And then we go to pick 32. EJ Manuel's available, so is Geno. Chris Jones. I kind of want to go Chris Jones here, but then what do we do with Domata Pecco? We could go Le'Veon Bell, but I want to stay with the Darren McFadden option. And then we've got Tyler Eifert. I don't think we have 2 second-round picks, though, is the problem. I don't think we're going to be able to get... both Tyler Eifert and then somebody else. How many corners are available that I would want? Jordan Poyer, Tyrann Mathieu, David Amerson maybe, Leon McFadden maybe, Logan Ryan maybe, Micah Hyde. Okay, so there are some corners that we could go after if we don't get Tyrann Mathieu. I think I'm gonna take Chris Jones here. And then we'll figure out what to do with... ooh, that was a big reach. Oops. All right, whatever. We know he's good. Then we figure out what we do with Domata Pecco. Sim the pick. Tyler Eifert goes 46. Well, I guess we pivot to Travis Kelce now. Which, I mean, saying that like a bad thing, but I kind of wanted to do the Tyler Eifert to the Bengals thing. Since we were the Bengals, but I missed the opportunity. So we'll take Travis Kelce. Welcome aboard, Travis. And now we have an option to possibly trade Jermaine Gresham for something decent. That could be a big thing. All right, pick 32 of the 3rd round. Who is going to be available? David Bakhtiari went. This is probably where we take some corners. Logan Ryan is still available. Eddie Lacy's available. I think this might be where we take Logan Ryan. Although, didn't I just take Logan Ryan in a draft? I think I just took him. Maybe it was in the Rams one. I feel like that happened. Maybe it didn't. Maybe I take Eddie Lacy. Marquise Goodwin probably wouldn't be a bad one to take. There's not really... I mean, Keenan Allen's already gone. I see Adam Thielen there, but I don't really want Adam Thielen. I might take Marquise Goodwin. Maybe we'll come back to that. What about offensive line? Nobody here. Defensive line, John Simon. Not seeing a lot of stuff. And then we're back to corner. I don't think I'm going to take Logan Ryan. I might just wait for Micah Hyde in the 4th round. And now we don't need safety, so let's take Marquise Goodwin. See how good he is. Maybe he can give us some good wins. God, I'm funny. I'm so freaking funny. All right, Marquise Goodwin, 98 speed. That plays. That plays for sure. And then we go to the 4th round. We take Micah Hyde if he's available. I don't see his name on the big board, so he should be available. And then we kind of sim out of the draft because I don't think there's anybody else that I want. So, corner. Where is he at? Logan Ryan is still available. But I'd rather take Big Micah. Welcome aboard, Micah Hyde. Number 56 in true value. Another corner to add to the class. We are Gucci gang. Okay, 2 solid drafts. Considering the 2012 draft is slightly better than the 2013 draft, but they're both not like amazing draft classes. I think we came away with some solid players in both those classes. Definitely helping the team out. 72 for Travis Frederick, 59 for Chris Jones. I guess we'll keep Domata Peko for now. Travis Kelce's is 73, Goodwin's is 67, Micah Hyde is 68. The rest are a bunch of jabronis. Let's get to the NFL total. Best player in the class was DeAndre Hopkins. No surprise there. Big play slay. All right. I'm okay with that draft. We did whiff a little bit on Chris Jones, but I mean, they had him mocked in the first round. How am I supposed to know? How am I supposed to know? Let's take a look at the team for year number 3. This could be a playoff team. It really could be. The offensive line's figured out. We have 2 great tight ends. We're getting better at receiver. We have a good running back in Darren McFadden. We have a good quarterback in Andy Dalton. We have Patriot legend James Devlin. I didn't even realize that. But the one thing that we're still missing is Michael Johnson at D end. So I guess we just kind of hold out for his development. If he turns into a great player, if he has a great season, then we're good. But I'm going to simulate to year number 4 or year number 3 off season, not off season. What am I saying? Year number 3 regular season, week number 1, so we can get the 2014 draft class. It's Aaron Donald, it's Jadeveon Clowney, it's Derek Carr, all the boys, Odell Beckham Jr. You know the class, but we'll load it up anyway. Let's get there. Year 3 is about to begin, but we've got ourselves the 2014 draft class we got to load in here. So let's get that jabroni loaded in and take a look at it. 2014 NFL Draft is here. Jadeveon Clowney, Blake Bortles, you know the drill. Obviously, I'd love a Khalil Mack. I would absolutely love it. We've gotten Aaron Donald plenty of times before. There's a very rare time where I actually get Khalil Mack, so maybe he is the guy that we go for this year. Other than that, we don't really need anything too crazy. We just need kind of like role players at this point. I mean, we have a good team. We have an 85 overall team. We should, in theory, make the playoffs. I guess we'll have to find out. Year 3, I'll catch you guys in the postseason. Year 3 is finished, and we actually lost more games this time. And I think at this point, it's probably the playbook that is the problem. So before I even forget, we're going to take a little look at the playbook. We're going to change some things, and we're going to... I don't want to go to like Buffalo because we don't have a quarterback that plays like Josh Allen. We probably need to go like Dallas playbook. I bet Andy Dalton could play in like a Dak style offense. Obviously, I could go Kansas City. I think I might go Dallas. I'm going to keep Cincinnati defense because I think that does a pretty decent job. And we'll make sure that we have the right offense. I think we do. Make sure we have the right defense for next season. I think we do. I was in a disguise 3-4, I think. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we'll change to Dallas's offense for next season for year number 4. I think that's what's holding us back at this point. Because, oh my God, maybe it's Andy Dalton that's holding us back. 17 interceptions. He finally does, like, throw the ball more, though. He scored more touchdowns. He threw for more yards, but he did throw for more interceptions. McFadden still muddling around that 700-yard mark. 1,000. Jordan Shipley is the surprise of the video. 1,000 yards for him. I guess that's not a bad thing. It's kind of cool. 133 tackles from Malaluga, not a surprise. 118 from McLean. Actually, a little bit of a surprise. Sherm did good. Tackle for loss leader was Geno again. Keith Rivers, Cliff Averill. 16.5 sacks at D-tackle is crazy. What is he, Aaron Donald? And then we got 6 interceptions for Richard Sherman. Hello, baby. Yeah, I think we're going to keep the Cincinnati defense because the Cincinnati defense does simulate pretty well. I just think the offense is holding us back a little bit. So we'll go to Dallas's offense. Dallas's offense usually simulates well. It's usually that. Buffalo, Philadelphia, Kansas City, obviously. And usually Cincinnati does simulate well, just not right now. I don't know what's going on. Seahawks and Ravens in the Super Bowl, by the way. So it looks like Russell Wilson getting the job done, just like he did in real life. And it is a Seahawks championship. Congratulations to Seattle. At least they didn't beat the Patriots. They beat the Baltimore Ravens, and they win a championship. So Russell Wilson, only a couple years into his career, has already won a championship, kind of like what he did in real life. All right, Matt Ryan, and he was the MVP of it, too. Matt Ryan wins MVP of the league. Roddy White and Andre Carter are your players of the year. Tavon Austin and Tyrann Mathieu, 2 guys that technically we had a chance to draft. They both win rookies of the year. Let's take a look at the possibility of dev trade upgrades for anybody. On offense, all of our entire offensive line is superstar dev. Awesome. Jordan Shipley stays at normal, which I hate. He's having such a good simulation. Why not go up? Defensively, Michael Johnson, hello. I talked about him before the season simulation started. I said we're going to need to replace him unless he has a breakout year. He gets star dev. He's still not a very high overall, but he gets star dev. Sherman has X Factor now, so that goes up. I mean, 6 interceptions will help that for you. We still do need a third corner. I will admit that, and we probably need another dominant outside linebacker. It seems like the guys that we have are not getting the job done necessarily as efficiently as I would want. So defense still needs a little bit of work. $72 million. Geno needs a new contract. AJ Green needs a new contract. Oh, no, he doesn't, except the fifth-year option. Thank you. I appreciate that. Rolando McClain, Jermaine Gresham. We might be able to trade Jermaine Gresham and just go with Travis Kelce. That might be what we do. But we do need to pay Geno. He's going to be very expensive. It's going to be a lot of our budget. But, I mean, he just came off of a 16.5 sack season. How can you not pay that? So we will... Oh, Geno. That hurts. That hurts. Okay, well, we had to franchise tag him. He wants more money than what we gave him on that contract. I guess we'll have to pay him next year. Hopefully we can do that. I don't want to lose Geno Smith, that's for sure. Or Geno Atkins. I want to lose Geno Atkins, not Geno Smith. We have to pay Taylor Mays now that he has turned into a great player or a quality player. He's going to come back. Thank you very much, Taylor. Dunlap. Oh, I forgot about Carlos Dunlap. He hasn't really turned in anything. So I forgot he was even on the team. What can I get for Mr. Germain? Mr. Hermain? What can I get for him? Trade him away. He's a valuable tight end. We can get Le'Veon Bell. We can get Levante David. We can get Gerald McCoy. We can get Tyler Eifert. I wanted him. If I didn't have Travis Kelce, I probably would do that. Let's see. No first round picks for a tight end? Are you crazy? This is Kyle Pitts. Byron Bell, Harrison Smith. Serious? I can't get a first round pick for him? I kind of want to trade him for Le'Veon Bell, to be honest with you, but I want to stick with Darren McFadden. So, Bears need a tight end. They have pick 7. Why don't you give me your top 2 picks and we can call it a day? I guess not. What about you just give me number 7? Okay, we're talking. We're speaking the same language. It's kind of muddled, but we're speaking the same language. What about if I give you a pick super late, because I don't think we're going to be going that deep? That's close. What about a second round pick? Does a second round pick tickle your pickle? It kind of does. What about a 4th round pick in that same draft? It kind of does. What about a 3rd round pick from next year in 2015? It kind of does tickle that pickle. We don't have a 4th round pick this year. What about a 2nd round pick from 2015? That's a lot to give up, but I'll take it. It's a top pick in the draft, top 10 pick. I'll re-sign Carlos Dunlap. I don't know why, but just because I like him. He's going to come back. That leaves us with about $3.5 million. Jordan Shipley, he's going to got because basically anybody can play his position. And we will... Antonio Brown says, I'm not coming back. CTE? I don't know. $4.4 million in free agency. Is Antonio Brown in this class? He is in this class. Why did I have to spend all my money? If freaking what's-his-face... God, Geno Atkins didn't suck. Who can I trade to free up the money to sign Antonio Brown? What about Pierre Garçon? How much did I pay Pierre Garçon? I don't remember. I'm paying him a good amount of money. Jordan Reed, Jarius Wright, Greg Little. These offers are about what I expected. I'll take Jordan Reed. Backup tight end. All right, that frees up some good amount of money. Not a lot of money, but it does free up a little bit. That's $10 million now. Is that enough to go after Antonio Brown? He doesn't want to come to Ohio. No, we still are down $12 million. Is there any way that I can free up Even more money? Team salaries. What do we got here? I might be ruining the team. So, who do I incur a penalty with? I guess I should do savings first. So, I'd save a lot of money from trading Andrew Whitworth. Gino, Pecco. I wouldn't take that big of a penalty from trading Domata Pecco, and we do have Chris Jones now. Everybody else, I'm not saving enough to make it worth it. Although Robert Gathers, we certainly don't need to be paying this. I might trade Robert Gathers and maybe pair him alongside. Who was the other guy that we could trade? Oh, it's Pecco. That's right. If we combine these two guys together, Robert Mathis. What a haircut, dude. Brandon Williams. I do need a D-tackle replacement, so let's trade these two guys for Brandon Williams. That frees up a good amount of money. Can I get myself Antonio Brown? Sign free agent. Come on, Antonio. We can just barely offer him a contract. We're going to go 5 years, boof up the bonus a little bit. Take it down to 11 million. Is he going to sign this? Probably not. Now the Jaguars are going after him. Darn you, Jacksonville. Maybe he chooses to sign with us. He chose to sign with Jacksonville. Okay. I didn't think he'd sign with us, but at least we freed up money anyway. That works. Okay, so offense, we're now in the Dallas playbook. We've got Geno Atkins. We've got Chris Jones. Okay. We probably do need to get a new free safety. Reggie Nelson, I didn't realize was such a low overall now. He's only a 72. I kind of got blinded by his star dev that I thought he was better than that. So we possibly need a new free safety. We possibly need some extra corners. And we need some extra wide receiver help. Luckily, the 2014 draft has a certain wide receiver named Mr. OBJ. Annie's top 5. At least Khalil Mack is top 5. We got Mike Evans in this draft last time. Odell's top 5. Round 1 for D Ford. LaMarcus Joyner is a round 1 to 2. I scouted Kelvin Benjamin just for the fun of it. What other free safeties are here? Clinton Dix. We'll scout him. We'll scout Calvin Pryor because we need that. And then corner, I'll scout. There's not really a ton of people, is there? In one of my recent rebuilds, didn't Jason Verrett have a decent simulation? I can't remember. I feel like he did. Maybe he didn't. I don't know. We'll go Bradley Roby because he's a Buckeye. And then we'll take a look at the mock draft. We now have pick number 7 because we traded that earlier. So we now have that pick as well. Let's take a look at that mock. That mock. What's it got? What's it got for us? So Jadavion's going top 5. So is Khalil Mack. So is Odell. We are at 7 taking Mike Evans, and then at 9 taking Sammy Watkins. I don't think that's what we're going to do, big dog. There's some good players. There are some good players down the board. I think we trade up from 7 to 5, which is not that hard, and get Odell. That's pretty much done there. And then... Oops. Drop the controller. Not what I wanted to do. I think if we trade from 7 to 5 and get Odell, that's good. And then we stay at 9, and we could take, there's so many good players. Zach Martin, but we don't need offensive line. Aaron Donald, obviously Hall of Famer. But we don't need D-tackle because we have Geno. I don't really want to take DeMarcus Lawrence. I don't know. 9's an interesting spot. I'm not sure what we want to do at 9. But definitely trade up to get Odell. Definitely trade up to get Odell. Think about that wide receiver room. If we had AJ Green, Antonio Brown, and then Odell, talk about crazy. All right, let's trade up. It was the Raiders, I think. The Raiders. They have pick 5. We have pick 7. Say yes. Thank you very much. Easy peasy. And then I think we stay at 9 for now. Maybe we trade that during the draft, but let's go. So number 1 pick in the draft is Greg Robinson. Good luck with that, Minnesota. Colts are still in the top 5. They take Blake Bortles. They had a chance at a top quarterback a couple years ago. They didn't take it. They take Blake Bortles. Jadeveon Clowney goes 3. Obviously, the number 1 pick in real life. Khalil Mack goes 4. I would have taken Khalil Mack if he was available. That's for sure. But we're in the Odell Beckham Jr. business, so we are going to take him. Welcome to the Bengals. He's the number 1 player in the class, and he's playing for us now. So Andy Dalton's got some weapons. Then Kyle Fuller goes, and now the Raiders are picking where we were picking. They take Mike Evans, so we basically just swap because we were projected to take Mike Evans. And then D Ford goes at 8, and now we're back up again. So obviously, I mean, the 2 big glaring options are these 2 guys right here, 2 Hall of Famers. But they're both at positions that we don't need. Unless we switch back to a 4-3. And maybe turn Rolando McClain into an outside linebacker. That could work. I feel stupid deciding whether or not to draft Aaron Donald. I mean, it's Aaron freaking Donald. I'm going to take him. I mean, that's stupid. Why even question? When Aaron Donald's on the table to draft as a rookie, you draft Aaron Donald and then figure out the rest later. So that's what we're going to do. And then we'll skip to the second round. Who's going to be available here? Teddy Two Gloves went to Washington. Garoppolo, Haha, and LaMarcus Joyner both available. We need a new free safety to pair alongside our boy Taylor Mays. So is it going to be Haha or is it going to be LaMarcus Joyner? They're both the same true talent level. Okay, Haha doesn't have a bad rating. What about LaMarcus? He is smaller, a lot smaller, but he's a little bit worse. I think I'm going to go Haha here in the second round, and he can hopefully be our new free safety. Welcome aboard, Haha. We got him at 51. He's number 24 in the draft. He's a hidden dev. He's probably going to be a straight up higher overall than 73. And then we'll simulate to round 3. And who's going to be available at round 3? I have no idea. Garoppolo, Johnny Football. Devontae Adams got taken. I would have taken him if he was available. There's not really any other wide receivers I want to take at the top. Tight end, we don't need. Tackle, offensive line in general, we don't need now. Defensive ends, no. I guess the only other position I would take is an outside linebacker. Maybe it's Kevin Pierre-Louis. I've done simulations in the past where Kevin Pierre-Louis develops really well. I don't know if it's going to be in this simulation, but I have seen him develop really well. Malcolm Butler's in this class, so we can still come away with an extra corner. I think I'm going to take Kevin Pierre-Louis, take a flyer on him, see if he does end up developing. So we'll do that. He's number 70. We got him at 73. Normal dev. That's fine. He can be some depth for right now. And then in the 4th round, I'll probably take Malcolm Butler and then sim out of the draft. So let's make our selection as long as he's still there. He should be. He was like undrafted or something. All right. Malcolm Butler, where are you? Super Bowl hero. And then did really nothing else. All right, Malcolm. You're on the team. He's number 130. We got him at 125, so not that big of a reach. And he's hidden dev. So that's another corner. That's 2 corners added to the roster. We got Aaron Donald, obviously, which is a home run of a pick. I think we'll switch back to a 4-3. That way, it allows for Donald and Atkins to play. And we probably need to trade Domata Pecco now. 81 for Beckham, 80 for Aaron Donald, 71 for Haha. So he's not a high enough rating, but he will be after the season, I would assume. And then they took a bunch of jabronis. Okay. NFL draft. We got the best player in the draft and then the second best player in the draft, tied for second at least. I'd say that's a dominant draft. That's a killer draft. And now we enter year number 4. The year 4 simulation. We'll load up the 2015 draft class. But what's the team look like? What does the team look like? We're now in the Dallas Playbook. Offensive line's great. Tight end's good. Receiving room starting to look better. Running back I like. Quarterback I like. Then on the defense, we have the 4-3 that we need to switch to. That's right. So we're at 80% scheme fit at the 3-4. But at the 4-3, we are 76. Interesting. I'll go with that anyway, because I do want Aaron Donald and Geno to play together. but that now allows Rolando McClain's got to get out there. So I think I'm going to make him a left outside linebacker, or maybe right outside linebacker. I don't know which one. Let's make him a left. He's an 87 overall middle linebacker. What does he go to as the left outside linebacker? He goes to an 88. Perfect. That's huge. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. I might corner. Corner's good enough. We'll see what happens here. This should be a team that makes the playoffs. I said that last year. We didn't win a lot of games. This should be a team that makes the playoffs. I would think that it does. But let's get to the week 1 simulation. So we're week 1 season so that we can put in the 2015 draft and then we'll go from there. Okay, let's get the 2015 draft loaded in. Hopefully we don't have to even draft this because we've won a Super Bowl this year. Hopefully the Dallas Playbook helps us out that much. I don't know if it will. We'll find out. We will certainly find out. It's the Jameis class. It's the Marcus Mariota class, the Amari Cooper class. You know the rest. Okay, so year 4 is about to begin. I will see you guys at the end of the year. I'm really hoping this is the year we make a push and maybe even win a championship. Year 4 is in the books and we finally reached our potential. We burst through that glass ceiling, and I really do think it was the playbook holding us back. We switched to Dallas from Cincinnati, and we finally got over the mediocrity that was what we were doing. It's like the Bengals are just programmed to be mediocre, and we finally broke through using Dallas's playbook, which is a hilarious thing if you think about it. But we finally broke through. We won 15 games this year, and we were the number 1 seed in the AFC. And it looks like by a good amount. I mean, the Patriots were close at 13 wins, Steelers at 12. But for the most part, we kind of controlled the AFC as a whole. How much better did Andy Dalton play? Oh, these are good numbers, Andy. 4,500 yards, 38 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Much better than what he was doing the last couple of years. I was starting to get a little bit worried he was going to start to peter out at this is what he's going to be. But Dallas's playbook really opened up his eyes. And we almost got 1,000 yards for Darren McFadden. But finally, he's out of that 700-yard just wasteland that he was in for the past couple of years. 13 touchdowns as well. Receiving, Odell comes in as a rookie. 1,300 yards and 17 touchdowns. Huge addition to the team. He probably won Offensive Rookie of the Year. I mean, how could you not with those numbers? A.J. Green had 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns. Kelsey was good. Marquise Goodwin was good. And then defensively, Rolando McClain as an outside linebacker finally usurps. You like that word? Usurps? Rolando McClain finally usurps Ray Maluga with 104 tackles to 91. Huge. Gilmore had 96. Sherm had 76. Geno Atkins is a freak. So is Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald had 17 sacks. There's a good chance we have both rookies of the year this year with Odell and Aaron Donald. And I can't believe I was even questioning whether or not to draft Aaron Donald. It's Aaron Donald. Why would I even think about not drafting him? I'm stupid. All right. We had a good season. We won 15 games. Can we move to an AFC championship and then obviously jump in and play that? Yes, we can. 21-16 victory over the Browns. We will play the Jaguars in the AFC championship game. It's a home field playoff game. We're obviously going to jump in and take the moments. I'm really hoping this is a W. Big AFC championship game here in Paul Brown Stadium. I know it's Paycor, but it's always going to be Paul Brown to me. And Jaguars are already up 10-0. We get a touchdown there. That's huge. We need to get another touchdown very, very soon. This Jaguars team is not better than us, but they take a 17-7 lead. Come on, drive. There we go, 17-14. Get the football back. We did. Okay, here's our opportunity. 1:47 to go, down by 3. This is our chance. We've got Andy Dalton. We've got Travis Kelce. We've got Odell Beckham Jr. We're going to throw it to Odell right here. I always do that. Why do I always throw it when they run into each other? Because I'm stupid, probably. Why is Odell Beckham Jr. white? He shouldn't be white. He's not white in the player model in the menus and stuff, so I don't know why he's white on the field, but whatever. Kelsey with a big-time catch for a first down. We might go a little halfback slip to Darren McFadden here. Oh, my God. They brought some pressure before I was prepared for that. The CPU doesn't usually affect me on the screens like that, but they got to me that time. It's weird seeing Travis Kelce in a 0 jersey. I'm not used to seeing him like that, so I'm not used to throwing him, not recognizing him. But he does get a big-time first down there. We do have to go because the clock does not stop like in college football for a first down. We do have 2 timeouts. A field goal ties, a touchdown wins. Obviously, I want the Super Bowl. And we're going to get it with a touchdown to Odell Beckham Jr. Huge. That is Otis Beckham Jr., by the way. That is a massive, massive touchdown. Andy Dalton with a beautiful ball. And that is the victory. Oh, too sweet, baby. Too sweet. Too sweet. That is huge. Ooh. Big balls from Andy Dalton. And we go to the Super Bowl. This could be our chance. All we needed to do was switch to the Dallas playbook. I should have done that from the beginning. I should have known the Cincinnati playbook wasn't going to get us very far. All we need to do is switch to Dallas, and we are already in the Super Bowl. Although, to be fair, we have a very, very good team at this point. So let's get to the Super Bowl and see who we're playing at. I just saw we're playing the Atlanta Falcons and Matt Ryan, who just won an MVP like last year or something. So this is not going to be easy. The Atlanta Falcons are a good team. Aaron Donald, I'm assuming, won Defensive Rookie of the Year. I'm assuming Odell won Offensive Rookie of the Year. It's Super Bowl time. They only won 10 games, though. We are clearly by far the better team. Let's go prove it on the field. We have reached a Super Bowl in this Cincinnati rebuild. Can we achieve the dream that all Cincinnati Bengal fans have been wanting since the team formed? 10-7 in the Super Bowl. Come on, boys. Come on. Defense allows a touchdown, turns it over, gets the ball back, turns it over again, gets the ball back, and this is our chance. Just like we did against the Jaguars, we need a touchdown to win with 1:55 to go in the game. We're going to go underneath. It's Marquise Goodwin. First down, the big dog. Clock is draining, as we should be. Underneath, that's AJ Green. He gets a first down. He got hit hard too. But that's a big first down. Clock is continuing to move. We're under a minute. Andy Dalton underneath Travis Kelce up the field. Huge. We're going to call the exact same play again. And this time, we're going to hit Darren McFadden because he's wide open for a touchdown. Bengals take the lead 16-14 in the Super Bowl. Well, 17 with the extra point. And that should be the ball game. And it is. Your Cincinnati Bengals have completed the 2012 rebuild and won a Super Bowl. All we needed to do was switch to the freaking Dallas offense with this skilled team. Oh, I wonder what Gatorade color that was. Hopefully you didn't bet on it. You'd lose. Okay, huge Super Bowl. And that is the video done. We have completed the rebuild. 4 seasons. We drafted well. I mean, getting Aaron Donald and Odell Beckham Jr. really pushed this team to that championship level. But we were already there with like Richard Sherman, AJ Green, Andy Dalton was developing really well. Even Darren McFadden, who scored the game-winning touchdown, was developing really well. We had a great offensive line once we got the interior figured out. The defense was amazing. So, yeah, I'd say we were in a pretty good position even without Aaron Donald and Odell Beckham Jr. They were just icing on top of the cake. And boy, is that good icing. Let's take a look at the team finally before we end the video. So, dev trade upgrades. Andy Dalton officially superstar dev. Odell Beckham Jr. X Factor. Let's take a look at Odell because I'll show you he's... Well, now I look stupid. I guarantee you Odell Beckham Jr. was not... That was not what he looked like when I looked at him earlier. I don't know what happened to him, but now I look stupid. We're not going to talk about that. Offense is great. We added in Osemele and David DeCastro very early into the video, then got Travis Frederick. Offensive line was done. We got Travis Kelce. That was great. We kept Andy Dalton, added in Darren McFadden, which is not my plan going into this, but he ended up being a solid enough running back for us. We kept AJ Green. He's a great player. We drafted Marquise Goodwin and Marvin Jones and Odell Beckham Jr. They were all really, really good. And then on defense, I mean, we kept Keith Rivers and Ray Malaluga. We just added Rolando McClain, which was a really good pickup. Taylor Mays might be the MVP of this entire video because he developed into a superstar strong safety, not making me have to worry about drafting one. Gilmore was a great pickup. Sherman was an unbelievable steal to trade for him as a rookie because he obviously turned into a great player. Haha, Clinton Dix passed Reggie Nelson, which I'm happy about. Michael Johnson, I gave him credit. I let him turn into the guy that I knew he could be, and he did. He did a very good job. But he has this dominant Hall of Fame 1-2 punch right here to go alongside him, so it kind of helps. But I like this team a lot. One of my favorite teams, and I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it. And like I said in the intro, if you have any suggestions for other teams you want to see me rebuild in whatever era, 2002, 2012, 2018, or obviously modern day, let me know down below in the comments and I will take that on in the future. But that's going to be it for me. I really appreciate you guys stopping by, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.